And welcome. Welcome to today's meteorology segment. We may frighten you. We may spook you. We may even scare you. And I may even vanish. Because there was lightning underneath my head right here in the Eastern Caribbean. Anyway, there's the NASA GOES lightning mapper. We've got some sudden storms kicking up here south of Louisiana. Check it out. Massive lightning. Also lightning in the center of the country and in West Texas. Here's a real-time lightning mapper, and we are streaming live at twitch.tv/smAsho. If you haven't checked us out on twitch.tv, perhaps you should. We don't do that much to promote the content over there, but it's such a good live streaming platform that here we are. Anyway, quite a bit of lightning here. And I think the most active region is going to be down here south of Louisiana. If you're out there shrimping with Forrest Gump, you may want to get below decks. As water is a poor conductor of electricity, and you're a better conductor of electricity than the water, so that's the real problem, not the fact that water's not a good conductor of electricity, folks. Believe it or not. It's a poor conductor of electricity. It turns to steam. And anyway, here are pressure cells from planet Earth. And we're going to advance this into tomorrow. So there's where pressure is now. And there's where it'll be at 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time tomorrow. That's windy.com. They got a great mobile app as well. Windy.com. We're not paid to say this. We should partner up and create a strategic partner. Anyway, you don't care as you're just the viewer. Or do you? Here's the weather.gov map. And we've got quite a few warnings here. I think those are heat warnings. Excessive heat watches there in eastern Montana. Some fog, some red flag warnings. Don't start a fire. Please don't start a fire. What are those orange areas? Oh, heat advisories down there in the south central U.S. and a bunch of flood stuff happening in most of the state of Arizona and southwestern New Mexico, where people are able to talk in a stilted fashion, just like me. Here's this hurricane, and it's weakening as we've said it was going to. I saw all kinds of fear-mongering about this. Oh my God, it's going to crash into Japan, and it's oh my God. There's a bunch of cold water there, and that's why it's not crashing into anything. It's just weakening, and it's producing a lot of rain probably, and not very much else. As you can see here, the sea surface temperature anomaly is quite anomalously cold there. So, and the way this happened, folks, was that, and it's cheers to China for doing this. They took all the ice makers in the whole country, and they took all the ice cubes, and they just dumped them in the sea. They just put all the ice in the whole country. They ran all the ice makers, and everybody, it was a concerted effort to cool the ocean. And thank goodness for that, because they cooled the ocean, and there you go. So this required over 50 trillion ice cubes to be distributed here south of Japan, and tuna fishermen were not enamored, as it cooled their bait to the point where it was less smelly, and they had to increase chumming as a result of that. So, but nice job, China, in weakening the hurricane. Well done. Well done indeed. Well done. Here at the Smash News Network, sometimes we just say things that aren't true to bait people into watching the videos. Because, well, frankly, it's fun. Anyway, let's look at the surface winds, which are still quite strong here, despite making landfall. So, got pretty high winds right in this zone especially. Actually, it's a bit of a dud. That's only 51 mile per hour winds. So as we've said over and over again, it has indeed weakened. And yes, I'm able to forecast hurricanes in the U.S. Look for that content coming soon. Make sure you watch all of our meteorology segments. They're quite timely. Put it in your subscription feed. We won't say nonsense. Quite a rambunctious looking low-pressure wannabe system there, but it has a ridge. It has a ridge on its western edge, rather, and that's not helping. It's a double, and it's fighting itself, and it's probably going to fizzle out. Anyway, those are the surface winds and high winds here in the Southern Ocean here south of Australia. Here are the jet streams, and check out the jet streams. I mean, straight up satanic jet streams here. There's clearly a 666 over the eastern portion of the northern hemisphere. The jet stream is blowing backwards here over the western Pacific and the central Indian Ocean. Does that mean we're all going to die today? Maybe Earth's going to change into Jupiter. Maybe Earth will become a gas giant, folks. That would be crazy, right? We'd all have to live on zeppelins or floating towns. Now that we've proven the Earth is expanding because the jet stream is chaotic. Seriously, that is a very chaotic jet stream. Check out the northern hemisphere's jet stream. It is jacked up. Jacked! It's jacked up like my legs right now, which have become weapons of mass peddling. Here are the jets of the Western world, which are actually more coherent, but they're staying out of the U.S. So we've got a backward jet stream here. It's going to actually divert flights, as planes will use massive amounts of fuel trying to fly against that in a west to east sort of a fashion. But in any case, this is why convective forces are completely in charge. We've got convective forces. Anticyclones are causing sudden evaporation and so on, which is what we're seeing, by the way, at Louisiana. So back to this situation here. What the heck? That was the worst zoom ever. And again, we are streaming live, so see, now down there we've got slightly anomalously warm water. It's pretty average, though, really. Anyway, there are sea surface temperatures for the eastern portion of the planet. And once again, there are surface winds for this side of planet Earth. Here's some more data. By the way, read SciTech Daily. It's part of our mission. And are you aware of the fact that most people get COVID through the nose, and an early response may determine how severe your course is? As if you get it in your lungs, that's bad. If you get it in your nose, it's probably less bad. Also, were you aware of the anti-aging stuff that we've been talking about on Patreon? Well, consider becoming a Patreon, patreon.com/smAsho. There's all kinds of stuff nobody else gets, and it's part of our mission, which is not just to assist, study, and report on the ongoing formation of a unified theory of physics. It's also to do all these other things. Go have a read yourself if you like at smashomash.com/forum/mission. There's also this chart. I don't know if you've ever seen that one or not, but I've taken it back off the screen because I just am sick of hearing about it, because people who know nothing about the climate keep informing me of things that they don't seem to know anything about either. And I can't stand that. It's COVIDiotic. So check out smashomash.com. We are indeed all tech. Check out our social media. Become a patron. Check out our merch links. Today's featured product is Mensa. Make Earth not suck again. It's up to you. Not giant heaving bureaucracies that can't even get out of their own way. It's not their job to make Earth not suck again. It's yours. So do what you can to make Earth not suck. Perhaps pick up the A-line dress and tell your friends and foes to Mensa. Make Earth not suck again. Since it's up to you. Somebody who's been making Earth suck less are our patrons. As they're getting all kinds of assistance they were not even aware is a thing, in the form of information. Hey, do this, don't do that. Hey, don't do this, do that, perhaps. Try it out. Patreon.com/smashobash. Thanks again to our patrons. Give Smash staff a raise by becoming a patron or picking up some merch, as we need your assistance to complete our goals for the year 2021, Year of Accountability. Here's the U.S. Doppler radar map. And we've got some extremely strong storms here near the Kansas-Nebraska border. These are the kind of storms that can produce strong winds and damaging hail, and possibly even things like supercells, which is exactly what those look like. Can we see rotation on this very low temporal resolution government website map? Well, certainly not. But we might see it on some other things. So let's look at the IR. So once again, rapid evaporation causing sudden storms to grow just north of the Nebraska-Kansas border station. Remember, folks, the first rule of Batman is not to tell people on the internet that you're Batman. Check out the size of that cloud top forming right there. That might be the end of the scale. Look at that. It turns white. Yowzers, that is a big cloud forming suddenly. So that's going to cause some massive pressure gradients. Let's take a look at the water vapor in that same area. And we are streaming live, so please bear with my guerrilla filming techniques. And actually, let me check the life of the stream before I go back to that weather pornography. And everything looks just fine. So here you go. Here is the yowzers. Sudden evaporation happening. And really, the input that's going on here is a result of this dry mass of air. This is a massive pressure gradient. There's also a massive pressure gradient right here and over here. So that's some great imagery of what's going on there. You're seeing basically an atmospheric water. You know how people talk about atmospheric rivers? Well, there's an atmospheric waterfall happening right there. And when you get dry air over a wet area, you get rapid evaporation and sometimes rapid cloud nucleation. Sometimes it just turns to vapor. And sometimes it becomes a weather caper. Anyway, there's the full map once again. Here's a recap. We'll zoom back out from the Doppler radar here. There we go. In fact, let's zoom all the way out to include southern Alaska. There we go. How about them apples? Shout out to Peter Schiff if you're watching the videos. Solar forecasting should be watched by investors. By the way, if you're not aware, our channel Solar Forecasts, we do daily space weather videos. We're the only people on Earth forecasting coronal mass ejections before they occur. Anyway, once again, here's the Doppler. Here's the IR over the lower 48. Here's the water vapor map, which is probably the best one of all. And check it out. This moisture here is getting sandwiched between these two highs and an anticyclonic clockwise rotation over the U.S. That's what's going on. There's also a tropical system in here. And it's all surrounded by dry mass of air. Those kind of things do not strengthen these kind of systems. They inhibit convection when there's a bunch of hot water and cold water mixing in the ocean, and I won't get into it. But that's today's meteorology segment. Thanks for tuning in. I've been your host, Dan, a.k.a. smAsho, signing off from the Smash News Network. Least busted. Name it news.